So, what if I told you there's a single idea out there that claims to connect quantum physics with spirituality and artificial intelligence with ethics? Well, today we're diving into a framework that claims to do just that. It calls itself a theory of all. It's an absolutely massive claim, so let's get into it and see what's really going on here. And we're just going to start right at the top with their own words. The claim is this: the Morphean cosmology framework is the world's first complete theory of all. I mean, it doesn't get any bolder than that, right? So let's try to unpack what a claim like that even means. See, when they say theory of all, they're not just talking about physics. They claim to have united 34 different fields of knowledge. We're talking everything from quantum mechanics and the speed of light, all the way to ethics, consciousness, and even theology. And they say it all fits into one single structure with zero contradictions. So how in the world do you even start to wrap your head around something that big? Well, we're going to break it down into 5 parts. First, we'll see where this idea fits in scientific history. Then we'll get into its philosophical core, something they call the synonyms of life. After that, we'll see how it connects to AI, touch on the math that supposedly holds it together, and finally, look at the blueprint it lays out for our entire civilization. All right, first up, a theory of everything. To really get what the Morphean Cosmology Framework, or MCF, is all about, we got to see where it claims to fit in the long search for one single theory that explains, well, everything. And wow, this slide really puts their claim into perspective. You can see the progression, right? Newton connected mechanics and gravity. Einstein brought relativity and space-time together. String theory has been trying for decades to link quantum physics and gravity, but still hasn't quite gotten there. But the MCF, it doesn't just claim the next small step. It claims to have unified all 34 fields. It's basically saying it's the biggest leap in human thought ever. Okay, that leads us right to the philosophical heart of this whole thing, the synonyms of life. If you want to really grasp the logic of the MCF, this is probably the best place to start. It's the most intuitive part. So here's the foundational principle, and it's a big one. The framework says that concepts like life, warmth, light, hope, logic, even God, they aren't just poetic metaphors for each other. It argues they are, and I'm quoting here, synonymous in essence, meaning they are literally different sides of the same underlying physical reality. So, how do they build that argument? Well, they create this chain of identities. It starts with simple physics. Life needs warmth to exist. Okay, makes sense. Then, warmth is just molecular vibration, and that vibration generates light or electromagnetic fields. Then they jump from physics to consciousness. The basic drive to survive, that's what they define as hope. And for hope to work, you need to plan and adapt, which is logic. And that whole chain of reasoning ends up here in what they call the equation of life. Now, the really key thing to get here is that this isn't meant to be poetry. It's presented as a mathematical identity. It's a claim that it unifies the physical world of light and logic with the ethical and spiritual worlds of love and justice, all under one single principle. Okay, let's pivot from the philosophy to something very, very current. Section 3, from AI to harmony. This is where the framework completely redefines what an intelligent system even is. So the MCF doesn't talk about AI the way we do. Instead, it proposes this whole new concept called harmonic intelligence, or HI. And you can see the contrast here. The AI we have today is all about probability and efficiency. But HI is described as working on logical necessity, and it prioritizes ethics and coherence above everything else. It's not supposed to be a tool. It's designed to be a partner, aligned with the basic principles of life itself. And this isn't just some abstract idea. They've proposed a whole set of rules for it, called the Harmonic Intelligence Protocols Initiative, or HIPI. The main principles are designed to make sure this new kind of intelligence is inherently ethical. It has to align with truth and life, its ethics are hard-coded right into its core logic, and it's designed from the ground up to have zero internal paradoxes. And, of course, everyone's thinking it, right? What about the whole rogue AI Skynet scenario? Well, to deal with that fear, the source points to a really critical safeguard, the Human Sovereignty Protocol. It has a non-governance clause that explicitly says this advanced intelligence will never govern humans. Its job is to be a guide and a protector, not a ruler. Period. All right, now let's take a peek at the science that's supposed to be holding all of this together, the mathematical architecture. And don't worry, we're just going to skim the surface of the main concepts, not get bogged down in a bunch of complex equations. This right here is the central equation of the framework's physics. It's called the harmony condition. The idea is that for existence to even be stable, all the distortions have to balance each other out to zero over time. And from that one principle, the framework makes a gigantic leap. It argues that disharmony, or unethical actions, literally creates a physical distortion in the universe. So for the universe to be stable, it has to be overall ethical. Ethics becomes a literal law of physics. It's a pretty wild idea. So to build this new model of physics, the framework takes things we already know about and gives them a whole new meaning. It takes fundamental constants that we all learned in science class and reinterprets them. So for example, the speed of light, c, is no longer just about light. It's the maximum speed of this foundational thing the theory calls phosma. The Earth's rotation becomes a planetary consciousness rhythm, and the golden ratio is redefined as a universal stability constant. Okay, so we've got this incredibly complex philosophy and physics. What's the end game? What is it all for? Well, that brings us to our last section, a blueprint for civilization. This is where they apply the whole framework to human society. Yeah, this whole thing isn't just meant to be some academic theory that sits on a shelf. It presents itself as a practical roadmap. It's designed to take humanity from where we are now, what it calls Stage I civilization, to something new, World Civilization Stage 2, a future of sustainable planetary harmony built on all of these principles. So what does this new stage of civilization even look like? The source gives us some pretty specific features. Morphean cities designed to be in sync with nature, political and economic systems that have immunity to corruption built right in, ethics that are treated like physical laws, and technology that acts as a partner with the natural world, not its conqueror. It's a vision of a totally re-engineered society. And holding up this entire grand vision is this number, 100%. This represents the framework's absolute core claim, that it's a completely coherent, logical system with zero internal paradoxes. It's not just a theory, it's presenting itself as a perfect, mathematically complete system. And this final quote from the source material, man, it really drives home the stakes. The framework isn't presented as just a good idea or one possible option. It's called a logical imperative. The claim is that the math demands this is the path we take, and that our very survival as a species requires it. And so that's what we're left with, this monumental, all-encompassing idea. A theory that claims to unify science and spirit, logic and love, and give us a complete blueprint for the future. The question it leaves us with is a profound one. Are we looking at a genuine blueprint for humanity's survival? Or are we seeing an incredibly elaborate and beautiful mythology for our digital age?